Hey, so spring has finally come. It's so amazing, right? To see the snow melting and gone, and to see that we don't have to pull out our toques and gloves. It's so great. Just as that sunshine brings me hope, I know that our CrossRoads Cares initiative is bringing hope to many within our city. So I just wanted to give you a quick recap of what's been going on. Over the past week, we had about 50 serves come in. They were able to pack up 41 unique care packages for different families. And what that looks like is 173 individuals received food and just blessings of hope over the past week. What this looks like overall is we've had 550 individuals that have received food and other things over these past few weeks that we started this initiative. And so it's just been fantastic. I just want to share a quick story about this. So last week we had a family who made a request. They have a 9-year-old son at home who has learning disabilities, and they made a special request that we would add in an activity pack for him. And so we kind of were able to put in our normal, which is a coloring book, a couple color crayons, nothing major, but it was what we had at the moment. And then we remembered that a few days before we had a few donations that were put in our bin with bags of toys. And we were able to pull out of that an actual large, really big Marvel sticker book. And so it had been held on to for just the right family. And our team just felt like this was the family. And so it was so great. We were able to put that into the care pack. And later on, we heard from the family, the mom actually with tears and just such gratitude. She was so excited about the response that her son had when he received the sticker book. And so what I want you guys to hear out of this is that what you guys are doing is making a difference. We know that there are people who are putting food in the bins, and we want to say thank you. We want to say thank you if you're praying over the families that are receiving these care packages. We want to say thank you if you're one of the ones that have put your hand up to serve. We want to say thank you if perhaps you're the one that put that sticker book in the bin. It has a huge impact, and we want you to know that you are making a difference. And so thank you so much. Now this week we actually have special guests from our Uganda team, and so we're so excited to have them. They shared a little bit about their stories, and I want to bring that to you in an interview here. And then after I'm done, I want you to hear a little bit more in terms of what's going on in Uganda, specifically with our partners in COVID. And so hang on and enjoy this interview. Today, I am interviewing our recently returned outreach team. They went to Uganda late February and they got back around the 11th of March, just as things were starting to clamp down because of COVID. And so they immediately were brought into a time of quarantine. They have not had a chance to share with the church. And so I just wanted to give them a chance to share a little bit. It won't be our formal big share, but at least this opportunity for you to hear a little bit about some of what they learned and experienced while they're in Uganda. So let me introduce you to the team. Here is our team. Everybody say hi.
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 It's a great team, and I'm looking forward to having you guys get to know them a little bit. So I'm going to have them first introduce themselves and share whether or not they've been to Africa before, and just in a couple of words, what their time in Uganda was like. So let's start with Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Raymer, and it was my first time to Africa, and hopefully not my last. And the words I would use to describe my experience there would be an amazing gift from God.
Hi, my name's Kyle Sewell, and it was my second trip to both Uganda and Africa. And I just find Uganda just amazing. I love the people there.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, my name is Kevin Breakreitz. First time ever in Africa. 3 words, God had a plan. That was all I had to say. I mean, it's just wow.
That's awesome. Awesome. How about Brenda?
Hi, I'm Brenda, and it was my first time to Africa, and like Michelle, hopefully not my last.
Awesome. How about Bernie?
Hi, my name is Bernie. First time to Africa, and again, like echoing everybody's words, hopefully not my last. And to sum up Africa, the people are absolutely amazing and truly a blessed trip.
Hi, I'm Eleanor. It was my first trip to Africa, and I can sum it up in 2 words: joyful and humbling.
Hi, I'm John Raymer. It is my first of many trips, God willing, to Africa. I could sum it up in a lot of words, but one would just be fabulous.
Hey there, my name's Adam Minke. I've been to Uganda before, so it was nice to return. And I would just say warm people, warm welcome, warm weather, and wow.
What would be something that you learned from your time in Uganda?
I wouldn't say it was a learned, I would say it was a reminder that we have a faithful God, and God is always faithful, even when we're not. And when we give him the space, and when we are open and available to whatever he has to do for work in our lives, when we freely open up to him, he does amazing things in, around, and through us. And the other piece is that when he puts something on your heart, we have to be obedient to that and to step out in faith, knowing that he has already went ahead of us and prepared the way. He gives us the words to speak. He gives us the courage to step forth. And if we can be bold and courageous to speak his name, no matter where we are, what we're doing, or who we are with, he blesses us beyond measure and beyond belief.
Thanks, you guys. I have one more quick question, really easy, but just in case anyone wasn't quite sure, I want to hear your initial reactions all at the same time. How many of you would be interested in going back to Uganda?
Yeah.
I can be ready in an hour.
Yeah.
Uganda.
When are we leaving?
Where's my ticket?
Good.
Yes.
Go.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
It is so much fun to spend time with that team. Always a blast. So I want you to know, in Uganda, in terms of COVID, we have just seen that they're reporting 58 cases of COVID in the country. And at this time, there are no reported cases in terms of deaths, which is fabulous. That is really encouraging news. Part of this is for sure because the country chose to shut down right as they got their first case back on March 23rd. And so things have been locked down for quite a while. We have to recognize that the country doesn't have the same testing capabilities as many nations. And so we might not have exactly what's going on in terms of COVID. But what I want you to know, how this impacts our partner, is that because the country's been shut down, of course, our schools that we support have been shut down. All the offices and things on the campus have been shut down. So keep in mind, when the kids are told to go home, they really don't have an opportunity to continue learning. They don't have the digital opportunities that we have. And so really the students have stopped learning when they've been sent home. The staff, there's a few that are able to work from home, but it's not quite the same. Most of them aren't able to continue their work. And so it's pretty difficult for them. Now, I got a letter from one of the secondary teachers, and I just want to read that to you. It just gives a good idea of how things are going there. He says, "Greetings to all our friends of CrossRoads and your families too. The 14 days of lockdown were extended, and we hope to resume in May. Life in this global pandemic is now a learning situation. You have to spend very minimal today for a survival tomorrow. As we observe the strict preventative measures, God will help us go through it." So I just love this picture of faith that he believes that God is going to get them through this. But it also just paints light on the fact that a country like Uganda, people don't have the same kinds of safety nets that we have here. There's no employment insurance, there's no savings, there's no even things going on like we have here with CrossRoads Cares. And so it's really a very different situation when families literally work for a day, make their earnings, and then they use that money to pay for the food on their table that night. You can imagine when things are shut down for 2 to 4 or 6 weeks, it makes it so incredibly difficult for them to make an earning. And so we really want to pray for Uganda, because we know even though the numbers look good right now, things can be absolutely devastating as things are shut down. So would you continue to pray over this next week? We just would ask that you would pray for these particular items, really lifting up the nation of Uganda, that they would have these numbers continue to go low, that they would not be able to stay locked down for too much longer, that they would be able to get back and start earning money again for their families. We also ask that you would pray for international needs as a ministry. It has to be a little bit more creative now, how they reach out, but that they would be a light in this dark place. And then finally, for Justice. He's our good friend and director. He's someone that has a lot of difficult decisions to make in this coming time. And so just ask that you would pray that he would be full of wisdom during this time. Thank you so much for lifting up Uganda this next week. Now keep in mind, next week we'll be interviewing Ron Pierce from Empower Ministries. So we're excited to see what he has to say. So until then, I hope you have a good week.